Welcome back, folks, to another The Freelancer on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm Daniel P. Riley of Whimsyland.org, and as usual, we're going to try and get some work done today. My plan is to write about Legacy of Heroes 2, Rising Stars. Been working on it over the course of the week. Not as much progress as I'd wanted to, and that's what we're going to talk about after this intro. Now, as I said, welcome back to another Sunday. This is The Freelancer, 1 hour working with me on whatever it is you're trying to create at the time. As those of you who usually watch know, I am Daniel P. Riley of Whimsyland.org, literary coaching and services. I help creators create the very best thing that they want to make. And as my first comment of the show says, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, AC. This week, I didn't get as much work done on Rising Stars as I had wanted to. I sat down for my hour every day, like I usually do, but there were a lot of distractions, and those distractions slowed down the progress. Some days, I made my 1K like I always aim for. Some days fell a little bit short, and that's okay. The important thing whenever you're trying to create something, especially something long form like a novel, is progress. It's not about how much you do, it's whether or not you sit down to do it every opportunity that you get. I schedule my hour. Some people have a different routine. But the point is that you're taking the time to get a little further and a little closer to the end. In the past week, I've managed about 2,500, almost 3,000 words. I'm not quite finished with the chapter like I had originally intended, but we are going to finish it today because, as we do on The Freelancer, we're going to engage in 2 Pomodoro writing sprints for 20 minutes. We'll be starting that in a few. Ooh, looks like AC's doing some editing. Good man. That is a subject I would like to get into in a future episode. Maybe for a couple of minutes, we'll talk about self-editing and a very important topic, which is you can't just rely on self-editing. That is a major factor in whether or not you're producing the highest quality work that you can put out for people to enjoy. But that's not what today's about. So without further ado, I'm going to get my timer set up here. I have my document already opened up. Take a moment yourselves. Take a couple of breaths. We're going to put on some music. And we'll get right into it. I think we'll go back to the lo-fi beats today. We did daydreaming last week. So I've got 20 minutes on the clock. I've got the music queued up, free through StreamYard. No copy strikes here. And I'm going to mute myself, hit that timer, and let's get started. All right, everybody, that is the first 20-minute Pomodoro writing sprint complete. Hope you got some work done on whatever it is you are working on. Before I open the floor to anybody who may be watching, I want to talk briefly about today's showcase, which is, or are rather, these two books right here. I just got the second one, so my collection is complete. That would be Skarde, The Citadel of Seven Swords, and Weird of the Skull Totem by Erik Waag. Both of these books are fantastically fun in that Conan style, but not particularly cloning Conan. They are wonderful pulp stories about this barbarian who makes his own way by his own will, and the strength of both his mind, his body, and his skill with the sword, encountering all sorts of strange and interesting things, much like Conan does. But Erik's style is so wonderfully simplified that it's popcorn pulp. You can sit down in an afternoon and just immerse yourself in these stories. And you don't really have to think too much further about it if you don't want to. You can close it at the end and just go, that was fun, and then go about the rest of your day. It's almost like watching an episode of a cartoon or a TV show, but in literary format. One of the things that a lot of folks like about, Howard's Conan was there's great depth from story to story, and there's a lot of detail, even though it's a brief series of books. And that really interests those who like the complicated and the lore and the connections of things and the greater world building. But it also satisfied the people that just wanted to turn their brain off and watch a big, muscular barbarian dude rip his way through some stuff and figure out how to survive in these impossibly strange circumstances. Erik's story currently with these two books has a larger narrative, but it's not really obvious yet because he's very early into the series. So you can much more easily just immerse yourself in the moment. Citadel of Seven Swords involved him fighting his way from enslavement in a mountain mine and the wild and sometimes surprising things that he ended up finding in that mine. And Weird of the Skull Totem is, without too many spoilers, it's something of a mystery, like the old kind of like a Myst game, but with violence, where you find yourself on an island you know nothing about, and you have to figure out what it is that's lurking out there that is trying to kill you. And it has incredibly interesting twists and turns, and then some real exciting action. That's why I really enjoy them so much. In a similar way, it reminds me of my own novella series, G Sedai, just in a low fantasy where magic isn't something that the main character gets, but he's constantly exposed to. And I find that really interesting. Before we get into the next 20-minute writing sprint, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, because I can't see comments on the Twitter without actually opening the Twix. If you have a comment or a question, now would be the time to drop it. In about 5 minutes, I'm going to get the timer set up, and we're going to get on to the next sprint. before that, during these 5 minutes, what I was talking about in the beginning of the show is consistency. And consistency is key, in my opinion. Every project requires progress to be completed. And yeah, you can make excuses or reasons. Day was really busy and I just don't have it in me. I do it on my break during work on my phone. I've heard that one a few times. And I have kids, I've got dogs, I got to make dinner when I get home. I can never really find time to do it. This is a statement that is absolutely true, but it's priority oriented. If you really wanted to do the thing, you would find time to do it. We all do. So whenever I hear that, I say, okay, well, let's see if we can find time to do it. AC Pritchard says, my comment is, it's goat time. Also, I need to make a Conan-esque Sword and Sorcery RK Chronicle after I read Wag and Rhymes. Yes, Barbarians of the Storm, a novella series by Rob Rhymes, Talking Pulp Press, I believe is the full name of his organization. Also a really good popcorn barbarian series with so much 80s flair that it'll make you smile just as much as it makes you excited to see what's going to happen next. But those of us who eventually succeed in whatever it is that we're trying to do succeed through consistency. And that is making that thing that you want to do some sort of priority. So you find the time to do it. Like today, finding the time at 3 p.m. every Sunday to get on here and help you guys work on your projects. Now, during the week, I get paid to do it for an hour, but this is a freebie. So there would be no incentive for me to do it. I just want to. And that's why I'm here every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Because I want to and I make it a priority. I could just write for an hour and not bother talking to anybody on Twix or YouTube. But to me, consistency is key. And you should always be trying to build on what you've already created. Even if you've finished one book, have an eye for the next one. If you love to write, if you just wanted to write that one book, cool. Congratulations, you succeeded. Go find something else to do. But if you love writing, if you love drawing, if you love animation, if you love painting, origami, whatever it is that makes you happy, there's no harm in prioritizing 1 hour to do it. And if you prioritize 1 hour a day in the same 24-hour period that the rest of us have, you're going to find your life is infinitely better. You'll find you still have the time, like I do, to spend time with my family. And I'm happier when I do. I can tell them about the cool thing that I've been working on. We can have a conversation about it. And my pride, my passion in what I do infects others. My daughter loves to draw, and she has taken it on. Every day she spends at least an hour doing some copy art and then doing some original art. She doesn't finish the project every time, but she picks it right back up the next day. And I'm super proud of her for doing that. I hope anyways, that it was my example that made her see that she could do it too. And that's what I'm hoping to communicate to you guys. But I've rambled for too long now, and it's time to get on to the next 20-minute writing sprint. So I am going to mute myself, turn the music back on, and let's get after it. All right, folks, that is the end of our second sprint. How'd you do? What you do? I can ramble at length and I'd end up spending the entire hour just staring at the webcam and babbling. So we do have to get some work done, or else the freelancer show doesn't make any sense. But thank you, AC. Anyways, how'd you do? What you do? Let's see what I got today. In those two sprints, 1,564 words. Excellent progress. I love writing sprints. Once I'm focused and ready to go, the words just flow right out of me. I can take a quick break, talk with you guys for a little bit, and then hop right back into that flow state. It's so much fun. But that means that chapter 5 has reached its end at 5,216 words, meaning I can get started on chapter 6 next. Fantastic. I hope you made progress on whatever it is that you are working on. Looks like AC says page 6 of 14. Started page 1 with this stream. Nice. 6 pages in an hour. That's fantastic. All right. If you, I keep forgetting to say this, so I'm going to say it before we sign off. If you have a question or you think of a question during the week, you're more than welcome to drop it in the comments of these episodes that live on YouTube. Leave them there. I'll get a notification that you left one, and I can answer that question or give some advice on the next episode. Yeah, you have to wait until Sunday, or you could just follow me on Twix at Mr. DP Riley and ask me yourself. Or you can leave that comment and I'll address it on Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Now, later on today, for those of you that may not know, King Richard of IronAge.media has his chill stream. Royce did his Sunday coffee this morning. I called today IAK Sunday. And this has been The Freelancer from Whimsyland.org. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and keep creating.